Over 600 layoffs on the table as Los Angeles prepares to declare fiscal emergency. What are we going to do? Haven't had enough income? Expenses too high? We had some payouts that were, let's get into it. What's going on now in Los Angeles? Here we go. Let's go to Fox in LA. They got to have a good story, right? Take a quick look at LA's fiscal failure.
New details tonight on widespread financial pain here in Los Angeles. We're not just talking the city of Los Angeles, but also the county and the school district as well. The LA City Council today declared a fiscal emergency for the budget year that begins next Tuesday, July 3rd.
$1 billion shortfall.
Lower than expected, and the city has legal settlements to pay. A nearly $14 billion budget has been approved, but the city is short $1 billion, about 614.
And they showed that.
To be laid off. Elected officials have discussed reducing those layoffs by transferring employees to the LADWP airports and the Port of Los Angeles. Those agencies operate on revenue from their services.
There's only that, and I think that was it for that segment. But there's only so much you can, there's only so much you can do making lateral moves from one agency to another, and you still got $1 billion budget deficit. You move those jobs on. Okay, deficit's still there. So what are you going to do? Well, you're robbing from Peter to pay Paul. It'll be wild. All right, let's get into the story here. So you got a situation with the City Controller Kenneth Mejia. He stated late Monday night that massive liability payments got a bunch of nut jobs running around the city, suing the city for ridiculous stuff. You've got said nut job judges in Los Angeles going, city owes. Let's spread the world wealth around. And then that's how you have a budget shortfall. So you've got these massive liability payouts on ridiculous stuff, overspending. We had a budget. We didn't follow it. We overspent. And then revenue shortfalls. If this was a business, Los Angeles would be closed right now because you overspent your budget. You have projected revenue that's not going to cut it. And you got a whole bunch of lawsuits out there with outstanding stuff that you got to pay. Revenue shortfalls are the main reasons behind the fiscal emergency declaration. Let's see. Absolute basic cash in, cash out type stuff. Basic business. And California, Los Angeles in particular, how much did Los Angeles just spend on not taking care of the ridiculous rioters? How many nights of rioting did Los Angeles allow to have happen under the auspices of, it's mostly peaceful. That warehouse is going up in fire. That store is being looted. That business is being broken into and looted. I mean, mostly peaceful. Mostly peaceful. How many million did that cost the city of Los Angeles? How many millions of dollars that could have been spent on what we're going to talk about here could have been avoided? How much could have been avoided? A ton. But no, they're not going to do that. They're just going to be, that's what we're doing. In order to balance the budget, 614 layoffs are on the table. The city controller said, the city will do its best to transfer employees to fill vacant positions. They're always trying their best. And yeah, they've always got just these ridiculous things going on. California, in particular, has just had one thing after another. So now you've got a situation where you just don't have enough money to run the city, and you got to come up with the difference somewhere. Mejia's post included a bar graph breaking down the layoffs by department of the 614 jobs. 248 are under the police civilian category. Other employees described as personnel made up the next largest chunk of So you got police, you got personnel, you got sanitation, fire, anybody that works for the city, right? Or the county, city related. Information Technology Agency, 34 layoffs. Yeah, you're going to have to cut some major numbers because you overspent. And now, like in many, many, many cities, the revenue that they're expecting to get from excise tax, from business tax, from the sale of properties kind of left and right. That's no longer happening. You don't have the downtown core bustling like it once was. You don't have a lot of the commercial real estate and residential real estate turnover because interest rates have been high and we came from a period of low interest rates. You don't have any of that activity, any of that normal motion that creates the dollars coming in to these municipalities. And Los Angeles is looking around going, well, I guess we got to lay off 8 in youth development. You got to cut 4 layoffs in city clerks, disability 4, public works board 2 layoffs, aging 1 layoff. What department do you work in? Aging. Oh, how's that going? I'm getting older. In Los Angeles, in April, Mayor Karen Bass unveiled a $47.9 billion budget that officials said at the time was presented during a period of unprecedented financial challenges. Meaning, they've never spent more, they've never had less come in relatively, and now we're in a period of unprecedented financial challenges. We have concerns about the city, the county, being able to meet its obligations. We've got financial challenges happening. Budget was signed earlier this month. City Controller Mejia noted just days ago the immigration raid protests cost LA taxpayers over $30 million. That's where I was going with this earlier. $30 million. You don't say. Yeah, the mostly peaceful protests cost $30 million. How's that? Well, in addition, a $5 million loan was also approved by the city council for the Los Angeles Police Department overtime during the unrest. $5 million just in overtime because you've got a city that basically says, oh yeah, you can do whatever the F you want. We'll foot the bill. Oh yeah, we'll have people sue us left and right. We'll foot the bill. And then at some point in time, the Pied Piper comes and says, we need to get paid. We got to get paid, being the budget. And then everybody looks at the budget and goes, well, we'd have a balanced budget, but we spent too much and we didn't have enough income and we got all these outstanding legal obligations. I don't know what to do. And it's because you've got so many politicians, especially in California, that have never run a business, that have never been held accountable, that are DEI hires, didn't earn it, or deport every illegal. Take your pick. Either one, yeah, it works. I prefer to go with didn't earn it because they didn't earn it. They didn't earn it with a background that actually helps out the constituencies in this area from the standpoint of saying, hey, maybe we need to cut that, and that. And you know what? Our revenue is going to be way down because I've been babbling about this for a long time. Your standard basis, your standard avenues for revenue have been constricted. That's just happened. I mean, this is not hard to work out, folks. The ways that communities, that cities, that towns get their money hasn't been happening. And so when you overspend and then when you've got ridiculous stuff like this, now I don't think 600 people in a town with, LA County's got close to 7 million people, I think. LA is an enormous market. When you got 600 layoffs, it's not great, but it's also not the absolute worst. You're not talking billions and billions and billions of dollars upside down here. You're talking sizable, but not crazy big. Now, what I would say is that, you're coming into a time where you got the mayor of New York City, Democratic Socialist. That's who's probably going to win there. I don't see Eric Adams winning there. I see the nut jobs in New York City coming out and supporting a progressive Democratic Socialist. He's a communist. He's a straight up commie. Kamala Harris supported Black Lives Matter, domestic terror organization. She could be the governor. I mean, it just keeps getting better, doesn't it? And then you've got Gruesome Newsom, current governor, looking to become president of the United States. I think Kamala Harris for governor of California would be perfect. I am hoping that happens because podcasts for days, weeks, months. Yeah. The same thing with the mayor of New York City. I mean, you want to watch some just absolute failure happen in real time. You elect that dude. You elect that guy in New York City. You elect Kamala Harris, governor of California. We are off to the absolute races, folks. Absolute races. Because the decisions that'll be made will be so detrimental to these communities, and then everybody will go, we elected progressives again, and it didn't work out. I don't get it. I mean, sometime this has got to work out. Sometime communism's got to work out. When is communism going to get its due? When is Cuba going to turn things around? When are we going to get, when's that turnaround going to happen? Because, communism works. Right? Oh, it's going to be beautiful. It's going to be beautiful. So the shifts that you are seeing happen are shifts that I highly encourage. You know what? Let's give AOC some kind of greater position of authority. Let's just see how that goes. Jasmine Crockett, let's elevate her position of power. I mean, these are great, great things, because the aftermath is going to be, that didn't work out all that well. Oh, good Lord, that happened? Oh, yeah, she's governor. Or, oh, yeah, she's the leader of whatever panel that is. We'll see how that goes. Now, all of these folks are absolute train wrecks, and Los Angeles is the poster child for train wreck as the city goes right now. I mean, you got the wildfires, you've got the civil unrest, you've got the mostly peaceful protesters night after night after night. You've got a governor who's completely impotent. Podcaster Newsom, is he even podcasting anymore, or did that fail too? I haven't heard a thing on Podcaster Newsom. Did he, give it a couple of rips? And who was it? Which Hollywood celebrity was it? Amanda Bynes. She's mental though. We can't make too much fun of her, but Amanda Bynes, back in the day, she used to have a great show for kids. My high school girlfriend enjoyed watching one of her shows, and I'm like, okay, whatever you want to watch. God, that show? Oh, I guess so. All right. Trying to get lucky, and you know how that goes. Anyway, Amanda Bynes, after like 2 podcasts, she realizes that she can't get the A-list Hollywood celebrities on her podcast. And so she just says, yeah, until we can get, folks of that caliber, we're no longer going to do the podcast. It's like, okay, Gavin Newsom, same thing. You can run a podcast, but if you don't have a main message, if you don't have something that people can keep coming back to and looking at and going, yeah, that makes sense. And Gavin Newsom basically went to people on the right and just started talking about stuff. And just started and saying some of the wrong things according to the progressive Democrats, like having boys compete against girls in girls' sports is highly unfair. I want to say it was highly unfair or truly unfair. Don't quote me. Gavin Newsom said something like that. And all the Democrats went, oh, good Lord. I mean, boys and girls are mostly the same. That's why, in all the high-rise construction, you see a lot of women up there just, rigging the whatever on the steel I-beams. You see a lot of women out there doing that. No, you don't, because it's a physical thing. You see a lot of women on oil rigs, right? Running that big, huge thing you got to drop down in there. No, you don't. There's some jobs men do, better than women, and women do better than men. But when it comes down to physical stature, you can't have guys competing against girls. It's just absolutely ridiculous. Kind of like electing officials that are socialists. You want to elect them? Hey, go for it. Well, I'm here. I'll get out that popcorn. I'll watch the popcorn, because you're going to have much of the same nonsense as you've got going on here, which is you've got people that don't really give a rat's ass about a budget or potential revenue stream. They just kind of bumble along and go, we're going to have to cut some people, going to have to fire some people, because we can't really work out how to make a budget work because, yeah. Not saying they're all like that, but I'm not recording how Oklahoma City, community is massive budget deficit, am I? No. So how'd that work out? Yeah, it works out this way. So LA declares a fiscal emergency. What does that actually mean? It means, hey, we effed up. We didn't see this coming. We couldn't really prepare for it. We're still bleeding out money, got those protesters, and just a slew of other ridiculous stuff that doesn't need to be happening, but you're going to spend money on it anyway. So you got a financial fiscal emergency. Okay, you got that? Now what? That's what I always ask. Now what? What are you going to do? How are you going to work your way out of it? You still got a third of the homelessness in the state of California. LA County has 75,000 homeless people. You have built it and they have come. And you've got that on all sorts of other levels throughout California. And that's why California has to absolutely tax you out the behind to pay for all this stuff. Just nonsense. One of my other articles I was reading this morning is how high-end real estate developers in New York City, after our Democratic Socialist friend, Mamdani, won the primary for the Democrats, high net worth individuals in New York City just lit up the real estate brokers' phones saying, yeah, we need to go to Florida. We got to go to Florida. We got to go to Florida. That was the story. And you're like, that makes sense. You hire enough of these communists, this is what's going to happen. You're going to have some real issues. I'm not saying communism is the reason behind LA having a fiscal emergency, but it's not far off. It's not far off, is it? No, it's just really not. All right. That's it for me on this one. Thanks so much for being here. The demise of Los Angeles, the demise of California, we will continue in real time. Thanks for being here. Love to have you subscribe, hit that notification bell, hit that like button, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye for now.